One Zambia, one nation. Hello and welcome to the news. I am your presenter, Henry Himonde. The headlines. Vendettas return to KCM welcomed. Electoral Commission of Zambia opens more voter registration centers. Chitambo residents appeal for police post. And Chipata United Football Club joins National League. And now the news in detail. President Hakainde Hichilema has directed investigative wings in the country to ensure that no arrests are made before investigations are conducted. President Hichilema wondered why investigative wings have continued arresting people without first investigating cases, saying this is not the first time he has advised over the matter. The head of state said investigative wings should also ensure that people are prosecuted within a short period of time. The president said this today during the swearing-in ceremony of Monica Mwansa as Anti-Corruption Commission Deputy Director General and Njavwa Simutoe as Luapula Province Minister. Meanwhile, President Hichilema has also called on the newly sworn-in Luapula Province Minister Njavwa Simutoe to ensure that he promotes legal mining in the province. Speaking after being sworn in, ACC Deputy Director General Monica Mwansa assured that she will do everything possible and ensure that the presidential directive is attained. A newly sworn-in Luapula Province Minister Njavwa Simutoe said he will ensure that illegal mining in the province is put to an end.
We need to investigate cases before we take the step to arrest and subsequently to prosecute. We need to investigate, Madam Mwansa. And when we arrest, we are ready to prosecute. We don't want to see that gap. Before you are ready, you are done with your investigations, don't arrest. By the time you've arrested, I was saying it at correctional services, you are ready to prosecute. You arrest in the morning, you are ready to take that individual to court in the afternoon. I'm not seeing that happening yet, but I've been talking and talking and talking. We need legal mining there, not illegal mining. Yes, Simto. Superintend over legal activities there, not illegal activities. I'm sure you know what I mean. And we'll be okay. Luapula shouldn't be one of the poorest provinces. It should be sitting on top as one of the richest. And I think we'll all work together to realize that which will help better the lives of our people and contribute to the national development. If I say more?
Yes, you should see some change. The president has given some directives, not just to me, but to the institution as a whole, because even as I go there, we have to work with the team. So you should see some change because we have a fresh directives from the president or a reminder of what he has already said. So of course, we should be able to put most of those things in action so we can see some change.
As the president has alluded to, I think I'm going to work with those people because we have same culture, Muchinga, Northern, and Luapula. So I'm not going to have any problem. So I'm going to work with those people and the traditional leadership.
Various stakeholders in Ndola have commended government for handing back Konkola copper mine to Vendetta to boost copper production that will ultimately improve the economy. Manase Siwila, an economist based on the Copperbelt province, has further advised Vendata to ensure promises and pledges made to improve the operations of the mines are upheld. Take a look at this report by Tovin Ngombe.
For the people on the Copperbelt, life without the operation of the mines is as good as being dead, and the liquidation of the Konkora copper mine affected the copper production. However, the government's decision to give back the operation of the Konkora copper mine to Vendata has brought hope of reviving the production of copper. Stakeholders on the Copperbelt have commended the government for the move meant to improve the economic status of the country. A Copperbelt economist based in Ndola wants government to ensure Vendata fulfills all the pledges to run the mine efficiently.
That yes, indeed, if we can have Vendata coming in a different jacket, what I mean is they come on board, sit down with the government like they have done, and agree on measures that should be taken to ensure that the economic fortunes of this country, the economic fortunes of this company can once again be resuscitated and taken on board to help, alleviate the poverty levels, especially here on the Copperbelt. You know that Copperbelt solemnly depends on the mining sector, and generally, even the government gets a lot of revenues from, the mining sector. And
Ndola Chamber of Commerce president is also cheered with the development meant to improve liquidity in the economy.
We are elated that our members who were affected by these operations through non-payment, our members, those that do business, suppliers, contractors, providing goods and services to the mines, have been put on the list to be cleared off. I know there's an allocation of about $250 million to clear off suppliers and contractors. This will improve liquidity. This will allow private sector to pay their bills. Some of them have on the bridge or on the verge of closing down. Some of them have defaulted with their tax liabilities, various obligations. They have defaulted, and it was a terrible situation.
The church is equally happy, but has expressed misfeeling that the country should by now be running some of the mines to benefit Zambians.
To return KCM to Vendata, and it's important that we give chance to elected officials, trusting that their judgment is in the interest of all of us. And so we now wait to see how Vendata will behave, and waiting for Vendata to fulfill their promise. It is a very tricky decision made, because should Vendata not fulfill its commitment, that will be extremely unfortunate. And so we pray that KCM will be resuscitated, and that now this standoff is over, the court case withdrawn, and we hope that the mines will be up and running.
The clearing of the impasse at Konkora Copper Mine, which started in 2019, will indeed contribute to the government's goal of producing 3 million tons of copper per year to boost the economy. Tovin Ngombe, Zanis, Ndola.
President Hakainde Hichilema has accorded a 5,000 kwacha to each of the families that are bereaved following the death of 33 people in a road traffic accident in Luano district. President Hichilema says the bereaved families should look up to God for comfort in their time of mourning. President Hichilema said this in a speech read for him by Central Province Permanent Secretary Muna Mwanakampwe at Masansa in Luano district during the burial of 4 out of the 32 people who died in the road carnage in Mboroma area. The head of state also commended government workers and other stakeholders who have contributed to the burial arrangements. And Chief Shaivila noted with appreciation the help rendered to the bereaved families.
I'm sorry to let you know, Your Royal Highness and members of the public here, that last evening we lost yet another accident victim. Brings the number to 33. That he is aware that these were breadwinners. Yes, government through him has provided coffins and transport and everything, food items and non-food items. It has decided that each family that has lost a beloved one must be given a 5,000 before the end of business tomorrow. That we are able to start from there.
Ndeta obuteko okupitira muri ba president wakainde ichirema bantu fweshina kankumba kuno fyakuma kwefifiriro fyakuma basinya chifumboloma bashayibira bamulungwe bakaundura bachikupiri bonse munalumbula muri abana bali affected so kwabula obuteko ndeba tfwera kankumba ngatatukwanishepo uyu mulimo twabomba.
And in Lusaka province, residents of Chongwe district have been encouraged to take advantage of the continuous voter registration exercise by accessing services offered in the set-up centers. Chongwe Municipal Council Acting Chief Electoral Officer Bob Musenge was speaking during the launch of the continuous voter registration exercise that has also started in 9 districts across the country. Details in the following report.
Chongwe district is among the 10 districts in the country where the Electoral Commission of Zambia (ECZ) has launched the continuous voter registration exercise. The exercise will accord residents in all the 21 wards of the district an opportunity to register as voters before the 2026 election period. Speaking during the official launch of the exercise at Chongwe Municipal Council, ECZ Acting Chief Electoral Officer Bob Musenge implored residents of Chongwe to take advantage of the exercise by registering as voters.
Members of the Commission, ECZ management and staff are conducting this exercise in 9 other districts to signify an important milestone in the history and operations of the Electoral Commission of Zambia. Our registration centers have been set up in 10 additional districts. The Commission is therefore calling on all eligible Zambian citizens who are 18 years old and above and in possession of a green national registration card to register as voters.
And Lusaka Provincial Electoral Officer Kambinga Nondo stated that the exercise is expected to increase the number of registered voters in the province.
We should know that those that are eligible, 18 years and above, and in possession of a green NRC, let us encourage them to register as voters. We want, when it comes to that time of elections, we have a good number of those that have registered as voters in the province and the country at large.
Meanwhile, some civil society organizations that attended the launch of the exercise commended ECZ for increasing the number of districts conducting the exercise.
I've just launched the continuous registration of voters here in Chongwe. We are privileged to have this as a center. And I was participating in the last elections, and we saw a number of people that were not registered as voters, reasons being the queues that were there. And now that we've started early, I think the next election will be very, very well attended. So for us in Chongwe and Gears specifically, we are very grateful and we look forward to the progress and the continuous registration as it is going.
Sheila Makosa, reporting for Zanis in Chongwe District.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia has implored residents of Nakonde District in Mchinga Province to take advantage of the continuous voter registration exercise to acquire voters' cards. Electoral Commission of Zambia Vice Chairperson Alice Simwinga was speaking during the opening of a voter registration center in Nakonde. Details in the following report by Titani Zulu.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, has launched continuous voter registration in Nakonde District in Mchinga Province, an exercise aimed at bringing services closer to the people. The registration centers for the exercise were initially set up in 10 provincial centers, but have now been extended to 10 more districts across the country, with Nakonde being one of them. ECZ Vice Chairperson Alice Mwinga graced the occasion and encouraged residents to turn up in numbers to register as voters.
So please take advantage of this service and come in numbers and register. I'm calling on all eligible Zambian citizens who are 18 years old and above and in possession of green national registration cards to register as voters.
A number of residents turned up at the event to appreciate and access the various services being offered at the Continuous Voter Registration Center.
This is a golden opportunity for the people of Nakonda, because now this has come on our doorstep. So I'm encouraging the people out there to turn in numbers.
And it's a privilege that Nakonda has to be amongst the very few districts that are running this exercise.
The registration center will operate 5 days a week, excluding Saturday, Sunday, and public holidays. Titani Zulu reporting for Zanis in Nakonde District, Muchinga Province.
And in Northern Province, Mpulungu District Commissioner Jehad Sikazwe, together with personnel from the Ministry of Agriculture, have started sensitizing farmers on the Farmer Input Support Program ahead of the 2023-2024 farming season. Christine Miselu now reports.
The Farmer Input Support Program, FISIP, is a government initiative whose objective is to support small-scale farmers in the country. And as the 2023-2024 farming season approaches, the Department of Agriculture has started sensitizing farmers on the prudent use of the inputs.
The changes which have been done with regard to what the farmers will expect when it comes to FISIP this year. Farmers will be collecting just codes for the authority to deposit, so they will not have the hard copies, so the phone will be used as a way of receiving the ATD numbers. So we have electronic authority to deposit, and we also have electronic authority to collect. We are sensitizing our farmers on the steps they need to follow, what they should come with, so that we have a smooth implementation of the program.
Mpulungu District Commissioner Jehad Sikazwe has urged farmers to take agriculture as business.
Government is commitment to a timely distribution of inputs and transparent selection for beneficiaries. The new government, under the able leadership of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, is committed to improving the livelihoods of our people and increasing food security in the country. Among the main interventions that can actualize this aspiration is the prudent implementation of FISIP.
Farmers are ready for the farming season.
Twali tukwata ama problem twafacinga okukisilako lero twapitanga mukisila tukupamulanda okupangira ma ATD kwayanga ma confusion lero palinda kai twali tutaize kutewa pamulanda that program nango process yati chinja iti yakutima ATD tumapokelanga apa mafoni pamulanda wachi kutala ya confusion yakupoka ama ATD so chichi twavwa apakala.
Christine Miselu reporting for Zanis in Mpulungu.
Chama District Commissioner Yobe Ngoma has revealed that the district has recorded a bumper harvest in maize and other crops. Mr. Ngoma says a bumper harvest has been recorded in maize, cotton, groundnuts, soybeans, and rice. Freddie Piri now gives us details in the following report.
Endowed with numerous natural resources such as fertile soils, this is the reason Chama farmer community has struck a bumper harvest this marketing season.
This year we bought about 20,775 bags.
About other produce, what is the authority stating?
We produced about 6,406 metric tons. So this is the production, total production so far, as I've already indicated in terms of maize, finger millet, sorghum, groundnut, sunflower, tobacco, soybeans, rice, cassava, and cotton. I think this year we've done better compared to last year. And
Goma, the district commissioner, further avails on soybeans status.
We produce about 368 metric tons. Soybeans, we produce about 5,144 metric tons.
And on cotton farmers, the DC has expressed concern on pricing mode. Meanwhile,
this year in Chama we produce about 6,406 metric tons. This year I think farmers, they are crying because the price is not all that good compared to last year. Last year the price was good. It was 15 kwacha per kg. So
while the DC has urged Chama citizens not to sell all their produce to briefcase buyers.
Chama DC not to sell everything to these buyers.
It remains in the citizens' decision not to sell all of their farm produce. Fred Perry.
And in education news, over 10 million kwacha from the 2023 Constituency Development Fund, CDF, has been set aside to buy 9,000 desks in Mwembeshi constituency. Mwembeshi constituency Member of Parliament Jamba Majila says the desks will be able to cushion the deficit of 4,404 desks that are needed in schools. Here is Tina Kabamba with the rest of the story.
Mwembeshi Member of Parliament Jamba Machila is currently inspecting the progress and impact of various projects funded by the Constituency Development Fund in Shiwenji District of Central Province. Today, the MP inspected a 1x3 classroom block and a toilet at Nambundo B Primary School, which has been constructed at a cost of 820,000 kwacha. Mr. Machila has reaffirmed government's commitment to providing quality education by building more schools and procuring more desks for the learners.
Our deficit is 14,000, but for this year, we are set aside 10,700,000 kwacha to do 9,000 desks, repairing and also building new ones. So out of 14,000, we are remaining something like 5,000, which we are thinking next year that is going to be easy. We are going to do that, increase on that number. We don't want anybody to be sitting on the ground.
Speaking at the same function, Nambundo B senior teacher Maya Diana has appealed for more classroom blocks at the school.
We have a challenge of desks. The learners which we have, they are more than 1,000, but we don't have desks. We only received about 10 of them, and then most of the children just sit on the ground. So as teachers, we are really suffering because even the learners are not learning the way they are supposed to learn. They are just using the blocks and sitting on the floor. So even the handwriting is very poor. So we really appreciate for the new block, and we hope even the desks will be there so that we at least we solve one problem, which is.
Meanwhile, Nambundo Ward Councillor Rachel Mubita has expressed happiness over the development.
The population at Nambundo Primary School is too populated, so we thought of maybe the community to build the structure here. So we have seen it. This is Nambundo. I feel good.
Tina Kabamba reporting for Zanis in Shiwenji District, Central Province.
We go to Central Province, where residents of Chitambo District have called on government to build a police post at Mukando 10 off to help curb the escalating criminal activities that are occurring in the area due to the increase in population. Sandra Mulenga filed in this report.
A growth in population often brings about development, but also it can bring about criminal activities such as theft. This is the situation in Chitambo District of Central Province, where a surge in population attributed to the opening of several manganese plants in the area has led to increased crime. Residents have called on the government to construct a police post to help curb the criminal activities and provide law and order.
Kwena tuleyirishanya ifwe tulechita tutantike bakabola la batupesha elo nomba chile bipa nomba na mashopu balete bana mashopu kuingira elo nomba bale ibila na ifwe bale tantika ba tomato ba onyoni amapoteto bale tuibila
tende pa mukando pano ngabwaila fye nisi mwenso ngabwaila fye nisi mwenso na mumayanda monse tule mfo mwenso.
We as a local authority, we are planning that in the 2024 Constituency Development Fund, we are going to set aside funds to construct a police post just here at Mukando turnoff.
District Commissioner Evans Chola says an alternative place has been found for the police officers to establish their presence in Chitambo district.
We have just looked for an alternative structure where we went to negotiate with the school, and the school has promised to give us that building. So now we just want to call upon the police to come to the district as soon as possible so that they can come and control these theft reports which is happening in Chitambo. But we all see what is happening in Chitambo now is out of hand. Let us have the police closer as we wait for all those things to be done by the council. Sure.
Sandra Mangamlinga reporting for Zanis in Chitambo District, Central Province.
Also in the news, Solwezi Municipal Council has handed over a 1x2 classroom block furnished with 50 desks at the newly established Kamasope Primary School in Kifumbwa Ward. Solwezi Mayor Lemi Kalepa says the classroom block has been built at a cost of 450,000 kwacha. Details in the following report by Onesius Mamba.
Established over 30 years ago, this is Kamasope community in Kifua Ward of Solwezi Central Constituency. The area has never had a primary school. Learners here cover a distance of over 10 kilometers daily to the nearest school. This will, however, be history following the construction of the first ever 1x2 classroom block at the newly established Kamasope Primary School using the Ward Development Fund. Solwezi Mayor Remi Kalepa has handed over the structure.
We have opportunity in Solwezi in terms of taking development in the communities because we have resources that are coming through local generated resources. We have the mines that are giving us an opportunity to get some resources and deploy back into the communities where Ward Development Fund has benefited. We have an allocation of 1 million per ward, translating into something like 12 million, and this year we budgeted for 14 million that will go into community projects under Ward Development Fund, local generated resources, plus the CDF that has come in.
Education authorities in Solwezi are happy with the development.
So we appreciate that your council decided to construct this block here. We don't want to take it for granted. We want to appreciate the gesture.
Teddy Machai is a community member.
Kosesha ibana benu kwamba bana benu bafunde maskuru kino kisao karengera anwa babansemi twikara barusekero kubikira mu bana benu.
For Zanis News, I am Onesius Mamba in Solwezi District, Northwestern Province.
Still in Northwestern Province, Solwezi Central Member of Parliament Stafford Mulusa has told the people of Tuvanganai Ward that various developmental projects will be implemented using the Constituency Development Fund CDF, and that soon residents will begin to enjoy the fruits of the increased CDF. More in the following report.
Solwezi Central Member of Parliament Stafford Mulusa says government remains committed to bringing development to the local communities. Mr. Mulusa says a number of projects have been implemented and some have been commissioned. And Solwezi Mayor Remi Kalepa had this to say. However, some residents have called on authorities to hasten the completion of projects.
Development pace, the way it is moving, too slow. It's very slow. Development
the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, has continued to foster development in local communities. Reporting for Zanis, Mwichechpoya, Solwezi District, Northwestern Province.
In a related development, Kansanshi Mining PLC says the mine will continue to help government improve the quality of education. Kansanshi Mining PLC Head of Education, Sylvia Msonda, says the mine has embarked on a training program to strengthen capacity in early childhood education teachers from various schools in Solwezi District in Northwestern Province. Mary Ndlovu now reports.
In line with Sustainable Development Goal number 4, which stipulates that UN member states like Zambia should ensure there is inclusive and equitable education for all by 2030, Kansanshi Mining PLC has committed itself to working with government to ensure this goal is achieved.
When you look at the Sustainable Development Goals, they're talking about the goal number 4 specifically, which talks about education, talks about the need to provide quality education. And as a company, we want to ensure that the surrounding areas of the mine and beyond give children quality education. And so we look forward to more trainings and just better collaboration with the government and other stakeholders.
Janet Lungu is Ministry of Education, Solwezi District Resource Center Coordinator.
But there is due support in material form, capacity building, the way the ECE go to Kansanshi Foundation every month so that they can be versed with the knowledge on how to make the teaching and learning aids using the local materials. This has really improved our classroom situation at school.
And teachers that have benefited from the program had this to say.
These trainings are helping us to refresh our courses.
For Zanis, in Solwezi District, Northwestern Province, I am Mary Ndlovu.
In our business segment, the Muchinga Provincial Administration has dispelled rumors circulating that the Investment Forum and Expo has been postponed. Provincial Deputy Permanent Secretary Matthews Chilekwa says the Investment Forum and Expo will take place as scheduled in October this year. Henry Lumpa Jr. now gives us more in the following report.
Here to hold its first ever investment forum and expo this year, the various expo committees have been on the ground to ensure that the event is successfully held, as it will bring massive investment and job creation to the province. However, some sections of society in the province have been circulating rumors of the event being put off, and this development has raised concern among stakeholders. In this regard, the Mchinga Provincial Administration has since dispelled the alleged rumors and have since stated that the event will take place.
Expo as planned is still on. We are expecting to have it on 3rd and 5th through 18th October per se. It's on and the preparations are hot. We are in full swing that we shall host an expo come October 3rd through 18th. So whoever is spreading the message that Expo is not there, I think that those are falsehoods.
And some concerned residents of Chinsali are disappointed with such speculations and have also appealed to the provincial administration to expedite its preparations towards the event.
Whoever is talking about it negatively doesn't know it. This is why I have that essence of saying, these people here, they haven't known what's Expo. They don't know its interpretation and its importance.
Those that are peddling this falsehood must stop. They are the enemies of Chinsali. As people of Chinsali, we are very much behind this move.
The Mchinga Investment Forum and Expo is slated to be held from the 3rd to the 8th of October this year, as initially planned. Henry Lumpa Jr., Zanis in Chinsali, Mchinga Province.
And in sports, Zambia's ambassador to Egypt, Major General Topri Lubaya, says Zambia should emulate Egypt's commitment to sports development by enhancing sports academies in all disciplines. Major General Lubaya expressed happiness that Zambia is part of the 14 African federations taking part in the African Youth Chess Championship in Egypt. He was speaking when a Zambian delegation led by Ministry of Youth, Sports and Arts Principal Sports Development Coordinator Doris Mulenga called on him at his office. He said the presence of Zambia out of the 55 African countries is a testimony of growth and zeal for chess in Zambia. And Chess Federation of Zambia committee member David Kapembwa said the tournament is fair and that all the children are performing well in all the 6 categories.
I was here from 2014 to 2017.
So 2014 to 2017.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Mrs. Welbe.
Chess is about high IQ, and you find that when I saw one of the players or participants, the young one, I was so happy that if we can do that at that age, it means by time we are going to have youth that will develop as proper players in the game. Like the way Egypt has done, they have developed academies in all the sporting events, such that giving them another 3 to 5 years, Egypt will be untouchable. In any sports event you can think of, they have academies. So I think that is the way to go. And in Zambia, where we are, our president has already highlighted that we are back in the Champions League, I think we need...
And simple way, speaking on behalf of the Chess Federation of Zambia, we are very happy as a delegation of the hospitality we have received here at the Zambian Embassy in Cairo, Egypt. And as regards to the team, not everybody can manage to be here at this moment because of pending schedules. But like you have said, we have done our very best. We've got 2 more days, and I'm sure by the end of the tournament, the competition we brought in Egypt can reward us with something.
And to conclude our news, Chipata United Football Club coach Esau Zulu is upbeat that his team will make a mark in the National Football League after its promotion from Division 1 League. Zulu says there's a different mindset and approach to the games among his players. Sylvester Chimba now gives us the rest of the details.
The province has broken the record after clinching a place in the National League through the Chipata Football Club. According to Chipata-based football fans, this has never happened in the history of the province. The 2022-2023 Eastern Province Division 1 champions are currently preparing for their first National League match against Mpulungu Youth Football Club a week away. Chipata United coach Esau Zulu gives his game plan ahead of the league kickoff.
It's National League, but it's football. So I think for me, there's nothing much as like difference. Just that you have to put more effort as into, now this is high level football. To me, we call it high level football because we are meeting different teams with the different experience, coaches with experience, even players with experience. So even us, we are geared for that. That's why I think even the training we have changed. We have also involved the training of high level football. So we are prepared.
Zulu says the team and its technical bench has been beefed up after the promotion.
The window is still on, so we are still searching for more, but so far not less than 14 players so far. Even technical aspect, there's Coach Kenny. This coach has been a coach for a long time. He's an Eastern coach, so we have appointed him to be a technical advisor.
And the team captain, Mike Kamanga, says the morale in the team is high.
We are prepared enough and we are very much ready. I know it's the first time to play National League since independence, but our motto and our morale is to make sure we win each and every game.
Sylvester Chimba for Zanis in Chipata District.
That ends our news, but before we go away, let's take another look at the top stories in the news. Vendatas return to KCM welcomed. Electoral Commission of Zambia opens more voter registration centers. Chitambo residents appeal for police post. And Chipata United Football Club joins National League. Thank you so much for staying with us. On behalf of the entire news production crew, my name is Henry Himonde. Until next time, it's goodbye.